Hey, hey, hey. My name is Karen Cotton. That is always my introduction. All right. Hey, hey, hey. If you if you follow my stories and stuff, it's always hey, hey, hey. So, hey, hey, hey. So excited that you guys are here. Testimony Tuesday. We were just sharing a little bit about how excited we are that we are going to keep these Testimony Tuesdays going. So, every Tuesday night at 8 p.m., we're going to spotlight different testimonies. So, one of the things that you're going to hear tonight is three very different stories. And that's one of the things that I love, is because we will have people come in that start for different reasons. And that's what you're going to hear tonight. So if you're on this call, you are here tonight because somebody loves you so much that they said, listen, you got to get on this call and you have to hear a little bit more about the supplements, about the opportunity, or maybe you're just getting started on the products and you just want to hear a little bit more. Like I was sharing prior to just a couple minutes ago, sometimes when you hear stories, people will come to mind that you know that is personally struggling. So one of the things that I want to share tonight, I'm going to share my testimony, is I will just take a bank or a notebook or whatever it is. And as God starts to lay people on your heart tonight that you need to reach out to, do it. Do not delay. Do not delay as these stories are shared, and we have so many others. So I'm honored to be here tonight to share with you. And then I've got Lindsay and Natasha are both going to share as well. What is really cool is, had it not been for Plexus, some of us, like I was sharing, would have never met before. So Lindsay and I used to serve at church together. That's how we connected. And Natasha and myself had never met before. It's actually through a mutual friend connected us. So it's really cool. That's one of my favorite pieces, is because had it not been for Plexus, we would have maybe never connected. But I'm going to share my story with you. I actually got started with Plexus in 2019. It's been 5.5 years. That is crazy. 5.5 years. I remember watching a friend of mine. She was posting about 3 months prior to me reaching out. She was posting in Facebook about these supplements that she was doing. And that day, you guys, in 2019, is actually March of 2019. I actually was just pulling out of my psychiatrist's office. I have struggled with mental health issues since I was a teenager, and battling depression and anxiety again since I was a teenager. So that day when I left my doctor's office, only God, I said, and I say because I followed her for 3 months, and I'm getting in my car and she came to mind. I knew I needed to reach out that day to her and see what she had that she was doing. Okay. Now, because I've tried all of the things, I have been on pretty much every anxiety medication that you could name, every antidepressant that you can name as well. I was skeptical as to how these products were going to be any different from the things that the doctors were giving me, right? So I reached out and she was telling me what she was doing. And then she told me that the company offered a 60-day money back guarantee. And to me, when she said that, I was like, oh my gosh, I have nothing at this point. I have nothing to lose. What they want to do is put me on another medication. And I had tried elimination diets. I had tried lots of things to try to help along the way, and nothing was helping. So that day, March 2019, I said, yeah, I'm gonna give this a try. I'm gonna do the 60-day money back guarantee. Worst case, it doesn't work. Best case, what if it does? So fast forward about 7 to 10 days, and I remember reaching out to my friend Jenna and saying, listen, like, I don't know, like, really what is even happening, but I'm starting to feel like myself again. That was in 7 to 10 days. Like a fog was being lifted. I was feeling my mood wasn't like as low. It's just I wasn't needing naps every day. I was taking naps every single day. I was on insomnia medication as well, because with depression and anxiety oftentimes comes very sleepless nights. And so all of those things, and I'm here to tell you that I never, ever, ever planned to do the business. I never planned to share what I was doing. But today, and about 10 days in, when I made my first post on Facebook, I was convicted that I had so many friends that were close to me, near and dear to my heart, that were struggling with some of the things that I was struggling with, but I was quiet about it. Like many people did not know that I was struggling with depression and anxiety. I had migraines as well. Um, so when I made my post and friends started to share, like they were struggling as well, I was like, oh, I have to. Like it was a conviction in my heart that I have found something. God has given me something that has helped my life. Why would I keep that a secret and not share, right? So the business accidentally happened. I share today because of what the products have done for me. And I know many of you are on this call tonight because you have powerful testimonies as well. So if you would, like, drop in the comments, like if you've started the products, what's a win? Let's celebrate the wins together. Drop in the comments what a win is. And let's remember, like, the wins are different, right? But we need to celebrate all of the wins. So I'd love to hear some of that. And we're gonna, at the end of the call tonight, we're gonna do some Q&A, but I would love to hear the wins that you have tonight, if you've already started. And if you don't yet, don't worry, they're coming. So I was able, you guys, 3 months in, to get off of my depression and anxiety medicine. No longer needed sleep aids. My migraines I was having weekly migraines. Those dissipated to probably, I have very few now, maybe once a month, and depending on what time of the month that is, but nowhere near. I was on verapamil and Topamax for my migraines, and my neurologist said, you'll always be on these medications. And so guess what? I'm not anymore. So thankful for Plexus and what it has brought in my life and my family, and not missing out on opportunities, being a mom that is fully engaged with the boys and all of the things that are going on, and a wife and a friend, and all of the things. So that is a little bit of my story, but I want to go ahead and turn it over to my sweet friend Lindsay Anderson. She's going to share with you a little bit of her story and how she got started. And like I shared a few minutes ago, we met at church, and then along the way, she's going to share with you, along the way, I reached out, and the rest is history, right? All right, girl, take it away.
So thankful that you never gave up on me. You continued to share. But yes, my name is Lindsay Anderson, and I joined Plexus in 2021. So it's been a little over 3 years. And I originally was like reaching out to Karen because my husband has like a shoulder injury. So very painful, sore, that kind of thing. And she's, of course, yes, we have stuff for that. Definitely. So he started with some ease. And then I was kind of like, okay, well, the kind of signing, looking at all of that, I'm kind of looking at all the other products. And I'm like, you know what? Yes, I've been gaining weight lately. We're both educators. So we come home like drained, of course, at the end of the day, right? Here comes back to school. Yes. If you have, like Karen said, if you have teachers, like friends, family that are teachers or any kind of like in education, write their names down, because we were just like drained at the end of the day, just no energy left. And then you've got, on the other end, this just stressed out, right? The pressure and then you're gaining weight, and because then you're craving everything, right? I know in like the schools, like there's just in the break room, there's just bags of chocolate to get you through your day. Like Some people have in their like desk drawers, just, the gummies and I mean, everything. And then when teacher appreciation week comes around and all the things, they're just stuffing food, they're got the candy and the this and the that, and that's all your gifts. So anyway, so yes. And then you get home and you're so drained, you don't have time to like exercise. You don't have time to do anything. It's just like you're falling asleep on the couch. And that was us, right? And then you're stressed out because you're just living paycheck to paycheck too. There was that. So I looked into some of the products too, and I'm like, you know what? Okay, yes, I've got cravings. I mean, these cravings are insane. I'm trying to just eat. I'm eating like bread, and I'm craving all like the sugary, the frappuccinos from Starbucks, or I even got into the whole like some whatever Wawa's version was. Like I was just stopping by on the way home to like get some kind of like something to get me for the rest of the day, right? Because we're dealing with students all day long. And then we get home and we have our own children that we then have to keep up with, right? So, and it was like impossible. You're just basically like treading water, trying to keep your head above. So I was like, okay, yeah, I'll try some for like weight loss as well. And let's kick these cravings type of thing. So again, Star was one of the ones that kind of started and wasn't consistent the first few months. And I was kind of like, well, this isn't really happening for me. Like, but thank goodness, like you're not just, because if I would have just bought it over the counter at a store, it would have just been like, well, forget it. Like I'm not going to get my money back, right? If something doesn't work, like Karen said, 60-day money back guarantee, totally could have just asked for my money back, but I didn't. But because Karen also, what comes with a Plexus order, right, is a cheerleader and somebody that does life with you. So they're constantly checking in on you and encouraging you. And she's like, don't give up, don't give up. It's okay. So I looked into more of the products because I was like, you know what? Well, this kind of makes sense. I looked into the triplex, and I was like, you know what? Well, this totally makes sense to like, I'm not going to see immediate results. Yeah. So I need to heal everything inside. Same thing with my husband and like his pain. It was all about the more research we did was all about like the inflammation, right? So we really needed to fix what was inside first and start to heal. And then you start to kind of see the results on the outside. So you're like, you know what, let's just take a little tweak and let's switch to triplex. So we did. We were like, okay, bam, we're going to do this. And it was like, we're going to do this together, all in. And oh my goodness, you guys. So like and consistent, right? And just kind of sticking to it, really read the labels and making sure we're doing exactly what we're supposed to be doing. And I could say within 10 days, the energy level, first of all. And because of the products, but two, I feel like it really helped having that somebody to do it with, right? That accountability partner. And if it's somebody even in your own home too, or somebody super close to you, it makes a world of a difference. So I think we came home like after the first week, like we said, we were falling asleep on the couch normally and trying to parent from the couch. We started like laying bricks in our backyard and doing like a paver, like a paver porch. And I was like, who are these people? How are we? We didn't get to do this before. We were just sitting on the couch falling asleep. So yeah, immediately saw like the energy and things like that. But with fast forward 90 days of consistency, we were both down over 30 pounds. And what a huge difference, like just life in general, right? Just tons of energy. And then just something positive to focus on with each other. We had energy to like go to the gym, work, or just walking. I don't think we even did too much during those 90 days. We were able to not have to rely on the chocolate or, the caffeine as much, the sugary things. I wasn't craving all of that. It's crazy. We were able to like adapt our, like a new lifestyle of eating as well. I didn't crave that bread, those carbs and the sugars because things were healing on the inside and we're lifers. So we just have continued. We're not reaching for those, things anymore. We're not, wanting those. Another thing that helped my husband as well was acid reflux. And again, the more research we did, we're like, well, this totally makes sense. Of everything that was hurting inside was because of the inflammation, right? And it's like a smaller hole for, the food. the things to go down. So that helped. He was like daily omeprazole, I think it was like daily on that. And now he doesn't have to deal with that anymore. So yeah, it was like once that, it was like, man, this is great. So like Karen said, then it was hard, then, hard to even keep quiet, because then you start to think, oh, and then you immediately hear what other people that are close to you that you love so much share. Like, oh, well, gosh, I'm struggling. Like, oh, I'm so tired. I'm like, we're like, well, let me share. Let me share what's working for me. It could totally work for you. So immediately, started sharing, and then saw the benefit of, then it could help us with this whole not living paycheck to paycheck thing, right? So, we did great. We were sharing with all the people that we love, and started making, financial, it just got to change that trajectory for us as well. So we made some choices. We joined a boat club we were able to do that with some extra funds. And we were able to create memories on the water with our kids instead of just kind of being stuck on home and devices and parenting from a couch, right? So yeah, so that's why I continue to share every day, and reach out definitely if you've got any more questions at the end. But I hope you enjoyed my little story. And I'm going to pass it on over to Natasha. She's got another amazing story.
Hi, thank you, thank you, thank you. I started in 2022, and again, like Karen was saying, through a mutual friend, and I was a little skeptical, a lot skeptical, and actually I followed her. Like I did a pop up, and you probably hear about this, if you're part of Plexus, pop up, which is a Facebook party, and you get to hear about the testimonials and all these other things. So I did that, and I was like, okay. So I was a little skeptical still. So I continued to follow her. My mutual friend, no longer was doing it for whatever reason, but yeah. So I continued. I was stalking her, and and she was consistent. She never gave up on me. She invited me out to they used to have the meetups, and so I went to one of the hotels a couple of times. Heard all the testimonies and all these things, and still skeptical. So I asked my daughter, my younger daughter, hey, come with me to to this meeting. I trust her judgment. And so I went to the meeting. Long story short, I went to the meeting, and she heard a testimony. She heard Kimberly and Karen and Jenna, Maria, all the testimonies. She was like, "Mom, why aren't you doing this?" So right away, she was like, "Mom, I'm gonna get it for you." And she put the card down, and we spoke to Karen, and Karen signed us up or whatever. And next thing you know, she goes, "Mom, I'm gonna do it with you." So we signed her up, and then my other daughter signed up, and then I had my sister. And so it just, like, I didn't even know about the business. I was like, Karen, like, how could I, what's going on? So she says, yeah, and so she, little by little, she started telling me about it. But so I had my family in it and everything. And we just, I just like felt, and again, at the meeting, she gave me a sample, one of the bottles, and I think like 3 or 4 of the Slim. And a couple of days in, I called, I said, Karen, what is in this? Like, I literally felt the difference. Like, she didn't tell me what it was or like whatever. Just try this until your products come. And I was like, man, I feel amazing. And then she started telling me a little about it and stuff, and I was like, wow. So when my package came, I was super excited. And again, I also started with the triplex, and I was consistent with that. Within a couple of months, I think like within maybe 2 or 3 months, I lost 25 pounds. And I was so excited. What I actually came in for was also, I have RA and the inflammation. And when I saw actually Kimberly's testimony, I was like, man, like, and I was so like, amazed. So I started with the tropics, and I added on the E's after. And for me, when I went to the doctor, that's what really like I was like convinced. I went to the doctor, and I was also borderline diabetic. And so when I went, my numbers were low, and I have the blood work to show, and I told Karen, And I was like, wow. So I, continued, and a year in and stuff, and then I started trying other products, the Metaburn and everything. But I really loved the ease. So actually, I texted Karen when I walked out of my doctor's office just last month, no, in June, and I told her, Karen, my doctor is like blown away. She said my inflammation, on a scale from 1 to 8, mine was 12. When I went to my doctor's appointment, it was 7.9. She was like, again, she was blown away. And I have all and that she even, I said, could I have a copy of that? And she put a little smiley face on it. And, so the products work. The products work. You just have to be consistent. Get an accountability partner. My daughter was like, Mom, we're gonna do this. And she was consistent with me. And then I tried the what do you call it? The active. I gave it to my daughter because she works out a lot. So I said, try this. She calls me from the gym. She's like, Mom, what is in this? Like I've done like so many reps. I've never like done this. So, all the products, and the beautiful thing about it is that you can try different things. You're not stuck to, or forced to just stay with one subscription. You can try all the different things. They all work. For whatever the need is, it works. But again, it comes with being consistent. And at one point, my husband was, when I first started it, my husband was like, I noticed that you're not complaining about pain anymore. And for me, when he said that, it kind of like triggered something. Like I didn't notice it myself, but it like kind of triggered something. I was like, wow, you know what? You're right. And everything, after that is just history. I just love the products. And again, the sharing part comes naturally because people see the difference and you feel the difference. So you feel, compelled to share. And then that's when the business part comes in. And last month, my daughter came from Delaware, went to Universal. I would have never been able to hang out the whole day. And I don't know if anybody follows me or saw my video. I was dancing one of the characters from Sing, one of my favorite characters. Oh my God, I could have never had done that before, literally. So again, the products work. You have to be consistent. Consistency is key. And another thing I love a lot of things about Plexus, but the community, the book clubs, there's just so many things. It's not just about the products. You have, friends for life. Again, I wouldn't have bet Maria, Karen, Stacey, nobody, and I just love the feeling. I don't know if you can hear the joy. But it's just an amazing group of ladies. Went to Nashville, all these different trips and stuff. It's just amazing. I just can't stop, but I think I'm gonna stop right now. But yeah. So that's my story in a nutshell.
Oh my goodness. I absolutely love it. Thank you so much, Natasha, for sharing.
Yes.
And Lindsay, thank you for sharing. Yes, you guys heard 3 very different stories, right? You didn't hear me mention weight loss at all in my story. I have lost weight and I've lost inflammation. But again, like Natasha was saying, it really just depends on what you are looking for. We have lots of different combos on what you're looking for. For me, Vital Biome, I forgot to mention, Vital Biome, X Factor, and the pink drink are like, that's what I started with. And that's what I'm still on today. And then along the way, I've added some different things. So will you do me a favor, us a favor, and drop in the chat who invited you to tonight's call? Who invited you to tonight's call? We want to do something fun after the call. So if you'll just drop in there, who invited you to tonight's call? And I see lots of wins in there as well. Oh my goodness. Like lots of wins. From not being able to sleep or being able to sleep through the night, more energy, alert, less bloating. Like, oh my goodness. Cheering you guys on. All the wins, celebrating all of the wins.
I'm nosy. I want to know who Galaxy is and iPhone 607.
Oh yeah.
Well, we want to welcome you, but I want to. You can put it in the chat.
How do you get to the chat?
The chat's at the well, it depends if you're on a phone or not. Oh, Erica.
Erica
Okay,
Larson
Erica
is iPhone
Larson.
607. I know, I'm just nosy like that. I'm like, I just, inquiring minds want to know.
I love it. Well, we've got like 2 minutes. Well, let's just leave it open for some Q&A. Does anybody have any questions about any of the testimonies that were shared tonight? Any questions? No? No questions. All right. Well, let's do this. Let's reach out to the friend that invited you tonight. Okay. If you've got questions, connect with them. And then, like I said, you've heard 3 very different stories tonight. Next week, we're going to be doing the call at the same time, 8 p.m. We've got different testimonies next week, but feel free to connect with whoever invited you tonight. And then they will help you with the stories that you've heard tonight and more stories as well. If you've got friends and family, because we all do, right? We shared, like, we've all got friends and family that I know for me, I was praying for help for a long time, and God brought Plexus into my life. So I always say, like, it was my my life vest, my life raft, right? When I was desperate. And that can be the same for you and for friends and family that you have in your life as well. Or maybe for yourself, maybe you're going through certain things and you've heard some testimonies tonight that really resonate with you. That's our hope and our prayer. So I want to thank you for tuning in tonight, taking time out of your Tuesday night to be here. We appreciate you. And it was so good seeing your faces. And if you're on the products, continue to stay in touch, be consistent, and don't give up. If you're not on the products, reach out, girl or guy. All right, you guys. Thank you again for tuning in. We will see you next time.
Bye.